This happened years ago, and I'm still traumatized. A bit of background. I lived in a mix between a suburb and a village, and at the time it was winter, and there wasn't much snow. But it was still cold to freeze your ass off. I was a teenager at the time, and of course I lived with my parents. So I was browsing the internet and was doing a short quiz. You know those, find out what Pokemon you are, etc. And I came upon a fortune cookie, and I clicked on it, and it said, "Beware when walking alone at night." I thought nothing of it, but still, why wouldn't I be aware at night? A few days passed, and I wanted to go to the grocery store. It was night. There were 2 grocery stores in my area. So to get to them, you have to go down a street and then either turn right or left. Either way, there's a grocery store. I went to the one on the left. The streets were silent, streetlights flickering. So I got to the grocery store and I saw it was closed. So I turned around and continued up the street. It's a straight street, so I was able to see anything going up and down the street. And then I saw 2 black figures in the distance. They creeped me out, so I made a right turn and walked back to my house. On the way to my house, I met my friend who was older than me. We weren't really strong, nor athletic. He asked me, "Hey, is the grocery store on the left closed?" "Yes," I said to him. He said, "Okay," and we both went to our homes. And I never saw those 2 figures again, until a few weeks later. I found out a girl was raped, robbed, and murdered at night by 2 men. Her body was found in the woods near our neighborhood. After that, my family and I moved away. I still keep in touch with my friend, but I will never forget that experience.
Hi, I'm Aditya Singh Tomar, and I just wanted to tell you about my mom's personal experience. I hope you like it. When my mom, Rita, was in 7th or 8th grade, my mom's father, my grandfather's job got transferred to a city in northern India to a small mining town of Dhanbad in eastern India. Soon, she became friends with 3 girls in her neighborhood, and they all went to the same school together. One day, she and one of her 3 friends were a bit late for class, so they assumed that the other 2 must have already left for school by now, as they didn't come to fetch them, my mom and her friend, so they left. Since they were quite late, my mom and the other girl decided that they would rather take a shortcut instead of the main road. The shortcut was through an isolated railway track, and most people avoided using it as it had some creepy vibes. Midway through the shortcut, they saw the other 2 girls, so they, my mom and her friend, assumed that the other girls were late too and called for their names 3 to 4 times. But the other 2 girls ignored their voices and kept walking on the railway track and not on the narrow road beside it. So my mom and one of her friends thought the other girls couldn't hear them, as they were a bit too far away, and they decided to run and catch up with them. When they almost reached their other 2 friends, the other 2 girls gradually walked into the woods on the other side of the railway track and motioned to my mom and her friend to follow them into the woods before disappearing into it. But they, my mom and her friend, decided to stay there as they were already late and didn't have time for anything else. So they called out to them that they were leaving, but there was silence for a few moments. And then suddenly, there was an eerie and creepily loud wailing sound of a woman. The wail had sort of a vibration to it. It scared my mom and her friends so much that they ran far away from that place as fast as they could. And when they arrived to school and entered into the class, the other 2 girls were already present there and told my mom that they had been in class for quite some time. And they never took a shortcut beside the railway tracks because it was haunted, as quite a lot of people have died on those tracks. And the other girls in class attested to it.